for me, he's more of a legend than I guess for y'all. Because, I mean...
I saw him race.
Yeah, you got to see him race. I never got to see him race. So he's like a legend. But his whole career is like... I said it earlier. I said it's like a movie.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 118. John, we survived another week.
Another week of Fox.
Yeah, that was a tough week to survive.
That was hard.
I don't get it, man. We just go right into it.
I honestly, after the first lap and the whole coverage of all that, I was like, man, we're in for a long race.
Well, I mean, lap one, you had the wreck, and you could clearly see Denny's car try to come into the frame for like 3 laps.
I know.
And you're like, who is that? Who's tore up?
Whose fender is hanging off the side of their car? Is that Chastain? Is that, who knows?
Yeah, and they never showed it. And it's just, it didn't hit me at that moment that this was going to be the worst TV coverage in the history of NASCAR, but turned out to be that way at the end.
No, after laps, by lap 7, I was like, I was already mad. I was like, I just want to watch some racing, but you can't even do that.
And it was half decent racing. It wasn't a horrible race.
It was the best next gen COTA race we've ever had.
I don't get it. I don't understand the whole Fox angle. So
yeah,
it's quite frustrating. Like the broadcast, the booth. Unfortunately for the booth, also like Mike, Clint, and Kevin are going to catch all the crap. But I'm in sales. I'm used to being the face of my product. When somebody does something and it's not perfect, or they're not satisfied, unfortunately, I'm the face of that product, so I have to hear it.
Yeah.
They complain to me. Well, same with Fox. Unfortunately for Mike, Clint, and Kevin, they're the face of Fox right now and NASCAR, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I like Kevin.
I'm struggling with Kevin even at this point. It's like I just feel like they don't care whatsoever about. And this is why I don't know. I don't know. Is this NASCAR? Because NASCAR has final say in the marketing side of Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So do they have final say in the production? I don't know that.
I don't know, but I don't know. I think back to Kevin. I think Kevin would be great with a better play-by-play. With someone who's better at play-by-play.
Like Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he needs someone who can do play-by-play because he gives some good insight. I mean, he's actually very insightful about our sport. And so I think if he had someone like Adam or Lee Diffie with him, I think he'd be a lot more enjoyable. Because, I mean, I kind of like his podcast or his show or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, did you see... Like obviously Fox advertises about his podcast a lot because it's a Fox thing.
Yeah,
but they're like the #1 NASCAR rated podcast.
I'm
pretty sure that's the Dale Jr. download.
Yeah, you're wrong about that.
I think it was Matthew Dillner tweeted something about it, and he's like, I went and checked. It was definitely or it might have been Jeff Gluck that said it. I can't remember now who said it, but
not happy hour.
No, I mean, it's a great podcast, don't get me wrong, but it's not
the #1.
Yeah, it's going to be, as far as NASCAR podcasts go, it's going to be hard to take the reins away from Dale Jr. and the Dale Jr. download.
Yeah, Dirty Mo.
So, we were talking earlier about the Dale Jr. download. We were talking about the Cletus McFarland episode where at the end of all his YouTube shows he He says, doing it for Dale.
Yeah.
And he, him and Dale Jr. were talking back and forth about that. And Dale Jr. was saying, he loves the fact that Cletus does that because his biggest fear is his dad's legacy dying off and the new generation not knowing who he is. So you are the new generation. You're 17.
Yeah.
What's Dale Earnhardt Sr.? What do you think of? What's that mean to your age group or to you?
I still think he's awesome. Like, for me, he's more of a legend than, I guess, for y'all. Because, I mean...
I saw him race.
Yeah, you got to see him race. I never got to see him race. So he's like a legend. But his whole career is like... I said it earlier. I said it's like a movie. Like every driver back then, he's some nobody from some nowhere town. Comes out his rookie season, dominates his second year, has this stretch of not winning, starts winning. He wins 7 championships, and then the whole Daytona 500 series is that legacy. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. And then 3 years later, I think he dies at the same track. It's insane. He's not dying. His memory of Dale Sr. is not dying.
Not if you have anything to do with it. I like that because, I know for me, I was a little kid when he was in his heyday. I mean, I was in 4th grade in '94, so.
Yeah.
I was just a kid, but I do remember I was at the race he died at. And I remember, my first memory of Dale Earnhardt is during qualifying at Atlanta. When he went out to qualify, they play Back in Black by AC/DC.
Oh, that's cool.
So I can remember standing in the grandstands at Atlanta Motor Speedway watching Dale Earnhardt qualify and hearing that song in my head. So having gotten to see him race... Not a lot, but I did see him, and I do remember watching him race. It's different. Like you said, I've never thought of it like that. Like it's a movie for you because you've grown up on nothing but highlights.
Right. I never got to see just the normal never got to see everything that came with his career.
It almost makes him larger than life.
It does.
Like, for you at least.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
All these next generations after you also, I don't think Dale Jr. has nothing to worry about.
No.
His dad's legacy is not going anywhere.
I think more for my generation than anything, he's like the superhero of NASCAR.
He's like if this guy was here today, it would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There would be no lawsuit. There would be no issues. There would be no bad coverage. It would be because Earnhardt would probably have went to the booth at some point.
Oh, that would be so cool.
So yeah, that's cool that he is.
Now, he'd probably still have his team.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
but he's a legend, and with you, to me, he's a legend because of what he did. It's legendary, but to you, he really is a legend.
Oh yeah,
like a folklore hero.
Right.
That's kind of cool. So I think honestly, I dig. I wish I'd have been a little older so I could have seen him race more.
Yeah.
But I grew up in that era. Like when I was a kid, my grandfather, my dad, they were obviously Earnhardt fans. So come around weekend time on Sunday, we were pulling for the Earnhardts in our household. So I grew up with it, but I wish I'd have been a little older so I could vividly remember. I remember watching Dale Jr. win at Bristol. I remember seeing Dale Jr. win races at Talladega, Daytona.
Yeah.
I have those memories, but I don't have that with Dale Earnhardt.
Right.
So, no, that's cool. I really just was curious what your take was on Dale Earnhardt at 17 versus mine at 40. So. But before we dive into today's show, let's give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney. Sydney is a master of graphic design, creating everything by hand with a personal touch. She has you covered if you're looking for unique NASCAR driver stickers celebrating each week's winner. But that's not all. She also offers custom logos, letterheads, t-shirts, and a whole range of custom stickers. Do you need to revamp your business's branding or boost your social media with eye-catching graphics? Sydney's the artist for you. Check out Designs by Sydney today for all your design needs, where creativity meets craftsmanship, And for the month of March, use code CAR, C-A-R, 0325. That's CAR 0325 at checkout to get $5 off an order of $25 or more. Now, let's get back to the show. So, John, every week they put out a poll. Sydney puts out a poll every week on which race was the best race of the weekend poll.
Yeah.
This week you had the option of Xfinity, Indy, and Cup.
Oh, Indy was on there.
Yeah, well, there was only 2 races, so she threw Indy. And no judgment if you voted for Indy. Even Sydney won't judge you either. But where's your vote going?
Cup race.
All right, good, because that's what I picked for you. I actually threw my vote in on the Xfinity race this week.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought the cover. I think
that is true. Like CW.
Yeah, so
I enjoyed the racing. Yeah, honestly, on Sundays I try to ignore the booth as much as possible.
Yeah, I know, because I had the in-car stuff going most of the race.
Yeah, so I try and ignore it as much as possible and just focus on the racing. As far as racing goes, I enjoyed the racing more on Sunday.
Yeah, I thought both had great races. So I thought the racing on Sunday, the racing on Saturday, I thought they were both really good. But the coverage on the CW was so much better. It kind of, let's say they were tied for me. In my opinion, they were tied on good races. But the CW's coverage was so much better, it made the racing seem that much better. So
yeah.
That's kind of my explanation for why I voted for Xfinity. But I did. I thought the Cup race was a good race. And Jeff Gluck poll, I voted yes for you and for me.
Yep.
And 87% of the other people who voted on the Jeff Gluck poll also agreed that it was a good race.
Yeah. I mean, it had everything you could really want out of a road course. I mean, besides, I think if Zilisch never got wrecked out, it would have been that much better.
I do too, because he was coming back.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. He was making up ground.
He was. So
I agree. I think that would have just added another aspect to it. I mean, it was
still great though.
Yeah, you had SVG, you had Christopher Bell,
Kyle Busch.
Yeah, Kyle Busch. Like,
that was awesome.
I did not have that on my COTA bingo card for the weekend.
Me neither.
But it gives me hope, because he's actually run fairly decent all season.
I know.
And I did not. I mean, preseason picks. I'm like, nope, he doesn't win.
Because you didn't even put him in your 16.
No, you did, but I didn't.
Yeah, I was hoping. It's working out so far.
I'm hoping it hasn't worked out so far. He hasn't won,
but he's doing much better.
I agree. So I thought it was a really good race. I do know a guy who's not a fan of the race. Actually, no, two. Jamie said he turned it off halfway through because Fox makes NASCAR unbearable.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can't hate Jamie for that. I mean,
I can't disagree.
I get it. You're not wrong, Jamie.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with that.
And then I have another guy. He's a Alex Bowman fan. He didn't give me permission to throw him under the bus here, or to even mention he didn't enjoy the race. But as an Alex Bowman fan, he said he was bored during the middle. And as an Alex Bowman fan with the track limits stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, Alex Bowman, I watched the replay. He clearly got pushed off the track and then fought his way back on. It didn't look like he was trying to cut the track.
It's like penalizing Cindric.
Yeah. So they let him go. I mean, they didn't let him go. They penalized Bowman.
Yeah.
So for this particular friend of mine, officiating came into play. I like Alex Bowman, but I find it a lot easier to watch NASCAR today, like the current state we're in as a sport, if I have no favorites.
Right, because, I mean, the driver plays a small part in it these days, but...
Yeah, but when a driver gets, screwed over, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I hate it for Bowman and all his fans because I think Bowman's a good dude, but track limits are track limits. I hate track limits, but we'll get to that, I'm sure. So Christopher Bell, 2 weeks in a row.
He's on it right now.
I mean, these are different style tracks.
Completely.
So
drafting to road course.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't even translate.
He ran good at Daytona.
Yep.
He was up top all day at Atlanta. Heck, he was up front all day. I mean, he didn't lead all day yesterday, but he was up there.
I don't know if I'd say he was up front at Atlanta. He was towards the front.
Yeah, I mean, top 10. As long as you're in that top 10, 15, you can win at Atlanta.
That's true. You just got to be in the top 20.
Yeah, because on that last lap, you're going to Ross Chastain it, and you're going to go from 10th to 3rd. And
Whew.
it might stick. It might not. But, no, I think Bell has done what he needs to do. He his strategy worked out for him. His teammate caused a caution that allowed him to get right up with Kyle Busch and take off. But speaking of Christopher Bell in general, I mean, 2 wins, 3 races. You know, he's been in the top 4, the final 4 the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
isn't it 3 now, actually?
I think it's 2, but I could be wrong. I think it's 2, but if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I mean, I'm giving the guy credit here. You know.
Yeah, I mean he's
a legit contender in my mind already this year.
Oh, yeah, I've got Christopher Bell circled for winning the next 2 tracks.
Phoenix, you think he'll win Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix and Vegas.
See, that's going to be the test. I mean, that's when we'll know what Briscoe has. That's when we'll know really all these guys. You go to not so much Phoenix, but Vegas is the one I'm really excited for because that's your
and then Homestead
cookie cutter track.
Yeah, then Homestead comes after that.
Yeah, it's not a bad next 3. Well, Phoenix is. I'm actually excited about Phoenix because the tire. We're trying a different tire compound.
Hopefully that does something.
Yeah, if it does anything whatsoever. I mean, just
it'll be our precursor for our championship race.
I got an idea. How about throw a rock, just a little rock, in everybody's seat? They won't notice it the first 100 laps, but eventually that rock's going to start hurting.
Start squirming around in their seat.
There you go. Now we've caused controversy. I guarantee you Cole Custer wrecks because of that.
You think?
He didn't wreck this weekend. I'm proud of the boy.
I know. You didn't actually hear his name once.
No, I didn't even know he was there. About time.
Yeah.
I don't even think Recchi wrecked anybody this weekend.
No, I forgot he was there too.
Where did he finish at? Let's see.
Was he in the race?
Yeah, I don't know where to even begin looking for him, though. Surely he's not in the top 10. There he is, 18th. Okay.
18th.
Yeah, so, I mean, good for them guys.
Yeah.
They wrecked for 2 races and then stopped wrecking.
They'll be back at it next week.
So, no, I think this is but speaking of Christopher Bell, I think that he has a legit shot this year of winning the championship.
I mean, I think he's had a legit shot the past couple years.
I do too, but I think it's going to be him, Larson, and a Penske driver and somebody else probably. So
yeah,
I think Christopher Bell, I wouldn't sleep on him all year. I think this could be that year. Like I said, this could easily be a breakout year. So
I think he wins like 5 races this year.
I mean, like I said, for me, I'm not going to jump on he's going to have a 5 or 6 breakout season until let me see what he does. Let me see what he does at Vegas. But then again, we got 6 road courses and 4 more drafting style tracks to go this season.
He's already won at those.
That's what I'm saying. So that's 10. He could win 10 more races right there.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, but he's on it though.
No, congratulations to him and his team. They did what it took. They won the race. I got no problem with him being the winner this week. So, COTA, short track versus long track configuration. Which one do you prefer, and which one do you think puts on a better show for the at-home audience?
Is that even a question?
It is, because the same person who is upset over track limits in Bowman is also upset over the new short track. They like the long track better.
No shot.
That's what I said. Like, I do not agree with that statement whatsoever, but he likes the higher speeds down that front straightaway.
What does that do?
Nothing in this car, because that high speed was built for the F1 cars so they could draft and pass each other.
Yeah.
Our cars don't do crap in this high speed.
Exactly. So short track all the way.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see him go to Brands Hatch, is what I was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a short track, it keeps the excitement up.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't feel drug out.
And we just get back to those passing zones faster.
Correct. And that added new passing zones by cutting half the track off.
Yeah, so win all the way around. Disagree.
So you're short track all the way.
Short track all the way.
The only thing I don't like is we shorten the track and our cautions are still like 25, 30 minutes long.
Oh my gosh! Like, why are we running 5 caution laps?
Do you want me to tell you my theory?
Okay.
I think the reason our cautions last so long is because it allows Fox to get in 2 to 3 commercial breaks under caution.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll talk about it later. I got something else to say about commercial breaks.
Okay, but that's what I think. I think it's NASCAR has the final say so. I don't know if I blame the quality of the racing on the cars, the Fox's production, or NASCAR's decision making.
We're at a road course and we're running 5 laps under caution. It's ridiculous.
It's too long. It really is. It just the excitement that builds up on a short track, and then we have a 20-minute break, 30-minute break, whatever it is. All that excitement tampers way down. And
I
it's
know,
like,
especially going from stage 1 to stage 2. It's like
stage 2 was brutal. I mean,
Larson did lose a wheel.
Roll away, Will. I mean, that's what I mean. Like stage 1, the race started out really good.
Yeah.
Stage 2 was pretty boring because you have a guaranteed caution to come. So then stage 3, it's strategy from the start of stage 3 to the final end of the race.
Yeah.
So stage 3 was actually interesting. Like, how long can they make it on a set of tires?
Right.
Then they pit, and it's like, all right, now they got to go.
Here we go.
27 laps. They haven't been more than 20 laps on a set of tires all day. They're having to do 27 laps on a set of tires. This is going to be good. Strategy's going to play out. I'm entertained. I'm interested. I'm watching it.
It was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But stage 2 was. Do I think you should get rid of stage breaks? Absolutely not. That made for the most boring road course race ever last year. Matter of fact, it was so bad they brought stage breaks back the very next road course.
Yeah.
So keep the stage breaks. I don't know. I mean, maybe stage 2 is just a time you take a nap at home.
Do some cleaning.
Yeah, get some cleaning done.
Get your taxes done. I mean.
Yeah, have a tooth pulled.
Whatever you need to do.
Whatever you need to do. Go do that during stage 2 of a race because it's no different than Talladega or Daytona.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing happens. There's no strategy to be played out in stage 2 because you have a guaranteed caution. It's like, just get to that. That's the only strategy.
Just survive.
And that's it's stage by stage strategy anyway now. So
yeah.
But then when stage 3 gets here, you actually have something to watch.
Right. And I mean, really the only track that isn't like that is Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's just it's too close, too fast, too tight to be boring.
Yeah.
It's just Atlanta's the best track on the circuit. I'm still saying that as of now.
You should put that on a T-shirt. Too fast, too close, too tight.
Hey,
NASCAR.
Sydney might do that. You never know. I'm good with that. But I mean, seriously, think about it. Like Atlanta's so far been the best race of the year overall, start to finish. Like, yeah, it's entertaining. It's good. I've enjoyed it. Great job so far. I've enjoyed the season so far. Like we've had. Okay, I hate track limits. That's on here somewhere. Let's just talk about them. I hate track limits. I really do. Back in the day, if you cut the corner and it was an obvious cut, that was a penalty. Yeah. Now,
I mean, if you drove straight through the S's.
Yeah, I grew up on pictures of these guys, all 4 tires in the air because they're jumping the curb. Yeah. Now I just don't like it. I like turn 6. That was a big controversy. Like Kyle Busch is like, can I cut turn 6? They're like, well, no. He can do it, but if you do it, they're going to penalize you. Like, well, maybe the 8 car has struggled all season understanding the rules. Like that has been
this Kyle's downfall.
That has been Kyle's kryptonite all season so far. The rules, Kyle, go read the rule book, brother. I know they won't give it to the fans, but surely they gave it to the competitors. So
maybe they didn't. I mean,
maybe they didn't. But I don't.
They get that little package. What are you talking about?
And it makes
each race
exactly. They get that little file.
Yeah, they get a little packet.
Get a hard drive. You can stick it in, check it out if they want to. But yeah, no, I think it's turn 6 was more entertaining. If the guys want to push it to the edge, let them push it to the edge.
Yeah, right. Like
who cares? It's entertaining because there's going to be a point where it's a wreck, and that's entertaining too. So let them push. It's just fun to watch them push it to the edge. Now you got them pushing it to the edge of a visible limit. Right. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. That's not NASCAR. That's F1 and Indy. Let's be. It's okay to be our own thing.
I was gonna say, well, we're stock car racing, but we're not really.
No,
we're not stock car racing anymore.
No,
we're just
these are Walmart build a block cars.
Yeah.
You order it from IKEA and put it together. Some weeks it looks like an IKEA car. Some weeks it looks like a Walmart car. So, this is the final race on the contract for COTA with SMI. There's nothing says we're coming back here next year, but nothing says we're not. So what do you think? Should we come, based on what you saw yesterday, do we come back to COTA or do we take it somewhere else?
I would love to go back to COTA.
And if we take it somewhere else, where do we take it, I guess?
I got no clue.
I mean, the only option I can think is Wilkesboro or maybe Rockingham getting a legit points paying race. Maybe we take Wilkesboro and put them onto a different date and then put Rockingham as the all-star race.
I mean, let's just do Rockingham as the all-star race and get rid of Wilkesboro for now.
See, I'm with you. I think Wilkesboro hasn't been a good race.
I love Wilkesboro as a track because we went there.
I love it with the Cars Tour.
Yeah, we went there before, when Dell Jr. was reviving the track and all that, and that was awesome. So I like the track for that fact, but the racing has sucked. I mean, remember the All-Star race last year?
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was so bad.
So maybe you get a better tire. Maybe that improves it. I doubt it. It's the car. We need a new car. We need a new car. We need a new car. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Probably 32 trillion times, and it still wouldn't be enough. But I'm with you. But I think we keep COTA. Sorry.
Whoops.
I think we keep COTA.
I loved the race this weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was a great race. I didn't see anything at COTA as far as road courses go. Now, if we're going to get rid of COTA, go to an oval, it's too early to tell. I need to ask me after the All-Star race,
Yeah, right.
And maybe that's what they're waiting on. Maybe because I think COTA has a very nice facility.
Yep.
I've heard fans. I've never been, but from what everybody's saying on X that went, they have a great facility. It's clean. It's not owned by NASCAR or SMI. SMI just rents it out basically and promotes it. So we know it's not SMI or NASCAR, so it's probably got clean bathrooms, nice concession areas.
Well, really just SMI is the big problem. NASCAR is pretty...
Well, NASCAR's starting to invest in their tracks. SMI's they're a little behind.
Yeah, they haven't touched their tracks in 30 years.
That's probably true. So... But I don't know. I think it comes back. I think we come back to COTA. It was a compelling race. I think if we could shorten it a little more, I'd be okay with that too. I want like a 1.5 to 2 mile max road course.
That would be so cool.
Like 1.5 would be perfect. Just give me a 1.5 mile road course. I think let's go to Cletus McFarland's track down there. It's got that weird thing in the middle, inverted dog leg or whatever it is. I think we go. Let's just do something like I said, Brands Hatch. I think that would be the perfect road course for us.
That's a cool track too.
All right, lap 1. Ross Chastain, Mr. High and Mighty himself. All week it's been Carson Hocevar.
Carson Hocevar this, Carson Hocevar that.
And then on lap 1, he does exactly what he complained about.
What was he thinking?
Like 10th to 3rd?
Like, honestly, that is one of the stupidest moves I've ever seen.
I couldn't. I saw it, and I'm like...
Okay.
Well, I barely saw it. I don't know how Fox messed up so bad where they hardly had any camera coverage at that turn.
I know. Like, that was our big turn last year.
And we barely cover it this year.
Okay. Like, so, lap 1, here they come. You expect a dive bomb, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're there, you're watching it. Chastain goes for it. You're like, oh, there he goes. He's still going. He's not on there. Okay, he just spun out Chase Elliott. Like, what was that?
You think about it. Last year, he spun out a Hendrick driver. Rick had a talk with him, and Chastain's ability has just plummeted. He just went from being an aggressive, finish top 5, win race driver to being mid-pack, Suarez-esque type of driver.
Maybe Hendrick has another talk with him, and he goes to Cody Ware.
He's going to have another talk with him because obviously his first race driving aggressive in a year, and he takes out a Hendrick driver. Like, I don't get it. And then when Chase Elliott was catching up to him at the end of the race, his spotter, and they were like, they'd already told him, Chase Elliott's going to wreck you if he catches you. So here comes Chase up behind him. Ross slows down and pulls over and let Chase go right by. Chase never even flinched. It was like he just went, meow.
Man,
all in his head.
So did you watch that in the in-car?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I never got to see that because Fox didn't want to show anything besides the front cars.
So that turn one wreck, that's where Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs got into it. Ty Gibbs jumped Denny. I mean, he jumped him just like he did. What was that, Justin Haley?
Actually, yeah. So let's do this. Let's just go through everything that happened on that turn one wreck because a lot of stuff happened that Fox never talked about. So you got Ross Chastain throwing it. He started in front of Denny.
Yep.
And he went from like 15th to 3rd. Rex Chase Elliott. Well, also, because Chase Elliott spins around and gets all congested in there, Ty Gibbs goes up the, I guess, right rear quarter panel of Denny's car, gets airborne.
That's how he also slices Zilich's tire, or gets his tire sliced.
And then Zilisch
that whole
breaks
thing
a toe link, I'm pretty sure is what happened.
I thought he just cut a tire down and Chase Elliott broke a toe link. But I don't know.
Maybe.
Nobody ever covered it.
Yeah, so Zilisch was caught up in that. Gibbs was caught up in that. Denny was caught up in that. Chase. I mean, so much happened in that first wreck, and you heard not a word about it.
Well, that's what was so frustrating. You know, we're like 9 laps in.
And we don't know what happened.
Yeah, you see a white car with the whole front end ripped off, and that's Denny Hamlin. When we finally realized that, I went back on HBO Max on the app, rewound it to the wreck, and that's where we saw the wreck happen. We saw the whole wreck.
Yeah.
We saw everybody bouncing off each other. We saw Denny Hamlin get jumped by Ty Gibbs.
Yeah.
Then I saw Connor Zilisch. I went to his I watched everybody's in-car camera to piece that wreck together, but it was lap 70 before Kevin Harvick ever mentioned Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, missing his front quarter panel, fender or whatever.
I think at races like that, they're definitely broadcasting off what they see on the TV.
I mean, they have to be.
Yeah, but the problem is those guys, they must day drink.
The cameraman?
The cameraman must be day drinkers.
Camera operators, yeah. I mean, you want to talk about camera operators, Christopher Bell passing Kyle Busch at the end of the race.
Well, we're behind the stands.
Why is there a camera back there?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
why is it back there?
Because, like I just said, I think these camera guys are day drinking.
Are they drinking when they put up the cameras too? Because
they were day drinking the 2 days prior to that too.
Why is it back there?
Matter of fact, by the time Sunday gets here, they're on a full-blown bender.
I mean, Christopher Bell pushes Kyle wide to take the lead, and we're looking at the back of the grandstands.
You know, at that point, though, they had already cut off beer sales because I did see the sign, so maybe they weren't day drinking anymore, but it was so bad. Like, between the enthusiasm we get out of the booth, which I'm being extremely sarcastic about that.
Well, Mike, it looks like Christopher Bell is catching up to Kyle Busch there. What do you think of that?
I think they're going to go 3 wide. Look at that. They are going 3 wide. They are racing.
Man,
that's it, guys. They're racing. Look at those stands. Look at those 2 guys. They look like they're having so much fun.
All right, let's listen to radio chatter. No, going back. So I said I was going to talk about something earlier, but so
lap 1.
Yeah.
We're still on lap 1.
Oh man. But no, like the ending coverage of the race. We're talking about the grandstands. Just their play-by-play of the race. They really didn't say anything. Yeah. I went back and watched it because I saw a clip of the ending of Watkins Glen last year with Lee Diffie. I mean, dude is ecstatic. I mean, he's like, Chris Buescher gets around SVG, and Lee Diffie's like, he's just going crazy. He's going crazy.
Oh, he was into it.
He was. I mean, and even going back and watching it back months later, I was into it in that 50-second clip. I was like, yes, this is amazing.
It's more exciting than Sunday.
Yeah, and so I went back and watched like the last 10 laps of the race. They didn't really say anything.
Well, no, they don't know what this. That's the problem, though. I don't know whose fault it is. Maybe they're so bored with these cars as well. They don't know how to make them. But that's just it. They don't know how to make it sound exciting. Where Lee Diffie does. Lee Diffie he's a younger version of a broadcaster. Like that's what he's made for. Kevin and Clint are race car drivers.
Right.
If Mike was over there drinking coffee and all jacked up on Mountain Dew, maybe Clint and Kevin would be able to, keep up with that.
Yeah, but that's the problem though. This is supposed to be their job.
Well, you would think.
And they're terrible at it.
Unfortunately, all of them are.
Yeah, they're not good at their job.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how there's no way we can fix it. Like I said, if NASCAR has final say-so of marketing, they are also going to have final say-so of booth talent, I'm sure, of TV packages they use. We know, just look at Indy. I watched the Indy race at St. Pete, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not a good race.
No, it wasn't
boring. Entertaining, but the broadcast was entertaining.
Yeah.
They did a really good job. They still use the color cartoon characters. That's
a Fox thing, though.
Yeah, I'm over that. That's stupid. I hate it. But whatever. It's just not my thing. I don't care. It doesn't change the production of the race for me.
Yeah.
But their broadcast team was exciting. They brought the energy. So even when you weren't getting action on the track, it sounded like you were.
Right.
I'm looking all over something's got to be going on. This sounds great. But then you go to NASCAR and it's night and day. Their marketing that Fox does for IndyCar makes you want to watch.
I love the IndyCar commercials.
Yeah, you're excited. By the time you have somebody, you've already made an opinion. You've kind of favorite driver through a commercial.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to watch the race when it's on. Then you got NASCAR with nothing. Absolutely, they're still showing clips from Dale Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip and Richard Petty, and yes, those guys are legendary, but what are we doing for our current guys? Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't even remember the last time I saw a NASCAR commercial.
But that's why I think it's more NASCAR than Fox. I've hated on Fox for years now.
Yeah, but Fox. Yeah, when you think about it, Fox is actually pretty decent in every other sport they are in.
There's my point. That's
football.
The biggest mistake
IndyCar.
NASCAR let happen was IndyCar become a Fox product, because now we have a side-by-side comparison. And if you think about it, NBC is a lot of the same crap we get with Fox.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because NASCAR probably has the final say-so there also. So instead of hating on Fox and NBC, maybe it's NASCAR who deserves it.
Because NASCAR, they just love to be the big boys,
Well, they love to be the story.
They love to have control.
They very much want to have 100% control and whatever. This is their sport to ruin. Go for it.
I'm surprised we're not watching NASCAR races on NASCAR TV.
I wish they would, to be honest with you, because then I could subscribe to that and I wouldn't have to pay for YouTube TV anymore.
Yeah.
All right, Austin Cindric. While he thinks no one is looking, he right hooks Ty Dillon, sending him into the wall. Ty don't need help. Let me just throw that out there for you, Austin. I don't know if you've noticed, but Ty does a good job getting in trouble on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Dillon.
Yeah, those Dillon boys.
Sometimes you're like a
Both
Dillon magnet.
boys today, actually.
Yeah. He was Austin Dillon's like a magnet, just sucked Denny right into him. I blame Austin for that. He shouldn't have been there. But I'm just kidding. Austin Cindric right hooks him. What do you think? NASCAR is consistently inconsistent, so.
I know.
But the rule says he should be suspended here.
It does. And it's pretty convincing. Now, I understand why he did it. Ty just shoved him off the track. Didn't even give him a chance to be on the road, on the course. So I understand why Cindric was a little upset. And he's a Dillon, so I think
it's just what they do.
I think exactly. I think just because for the fact that he's a Dillon, Cindric should be okay. He just
So do you think NASCAR gives him a penalty? Or a suspension?
I would hope they would, because that's what they said they're gonna do. But
that's kind of where I'm at. Do I think they will? I don't know.
I really don't know.
They used to tell us on Tuesday mornings. Now they wait till the majority of the podcasts are done, and they release this info on Wednesday. which whatever, that's fine. But I think they suspend him here.
I mean, we'll see.
He should. Like, this not a knock on Austin Dillon whatsoever. I mean,
Cindric.
Not a knock on Austin Cindric whatsoever. But
That would stink, though.
you right hook somebody, and then he loses. He basically he can't. This is race 3.
Yeah.
You know, you get suspended in race 3, and playoff points, you can't accumulate them until the start of the playoffs now.
You have to go out and try and win every race.
But he can win and get in the playoffs. He just can't win and earn playoff points. So he starts.
That's what I mean. You don't point race anymore. You don't do nothing. You just win.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Or you just, you need to win. Win and get in, and once you're in, then just start focusing on the last 10 races of the year like a good Penske driver.
Exactly.
That's what they do anyway.
Anytime you go to one of our playoff tracks, you're just trying to set yourself up for the end of the year.
So, strategy's playing out. Kyle Busch pits, 27 laps to go. Christopher Bell waits another 3 laps. SVG waits a couple more laps after that. I think we're going to see some strategy getting played out, and Denny Hamlin gets loose in the dirt and takes out Austin Dillon.
Yep.
T-bones Austin Dillon.
Man, when they played that back on TV, I was like, I hope that's on purpose.
It almost looked on purpose, but you know it's not.
Right. You go back and watch it. You clearly see when Denny's right behind Austin, and he goes to get out of line to pass him, and you see as soon as he gets out of line, the track's brown in front of him. And then he just whoosh, takes him out.
It's crazy.
I personally love to see it.
I had no problem with it because I'm not a big fan of Dillon, but you know, for the people online were like calling for Denny to be suspended. They're like, he should be suspended. That was intentional. He clearly got out of line and hit an RCR driver to take him out to cause a caution so Christopher Bell could catch up.
I didn't even think about that on Sunday.
Everybody, I didn't either, but everybody online, like it's all over X.
I literally never even crossed my mind because I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, you got loose. But yeah, I guess it was a JGR car, got into an RCR car, so a JGR car could get to an RCR car.
I hate not having my foot still here now. I keep shaking.
Shaking the camera?
Yeah, that's why I can't use it as a footstool. It's throwing me off. I think what Denny did was got outside, got in the dirt, got loose, slid right into Austin Dillon. It was an accident. Ruined Denny. It ended Denny's day, basically. Ended Austin's day. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it's possible for Denny to go 5 cars back and say, I think if I don't hit the brakes and I drive wide open through this turn, I can hit Austin Dillon, causing a caution, allowing Christopher Bell to catch up to Kyle Busch, who also races for Austin Dillon's grandfather. I think I can do that the next turn. Let's see. Could he have done it? Yes, he absolutely could have, but I doubt it. Like, in that moment, I just find it hard to believe that a driver's mind is working like that.
Yeah, no. There's no way.
No, it's not happening. So, Kyle Busch. Let's talk about Kyle Busch.
What a day.
He led 23 laps. I thought I wrote it down.
He led like 47.
He led 42 laps.
42, yeah.
Yeah, SVG led 23 laps.
Oh, okay.
I did write that down. No, Kyle Busch, I mean, a phenomenal day. Like I said earlier,
I was pulling for him.
I did not have Kyle Busch road course racer on my COTA bingo card whatsoever. Like,
right.
I did not expect to see Kyle basically dominate.
Yeah, I know.
Over SVG.
Well, you can't say if he dominated over Zilisch. He never got a chance.
No, Suarez into that.
Yeah. And both his Trackhouse teammates.
Yeah, I agree. But Kyle,
man, what a day. Man,
if they didn't have that caution, does Kyle Busch win that race?
I don't know. It would have been close. It would have come down to like 2 to go, 1 to go.
I think it would have too because Kyle's car was done.
Wasted.
Yeah, with 5 laps to go, he had nothing left to give, but he had to race hard
for another 6 laps.
Yeah, he had to race really hard because they were closer because of that caution. So maybe without that caution, he's able to save more and he doesn't burn it up. I think it comes down to a last 1 or 2 lap pass. I think he could possibly. I think his shot of winning that race went down the drain
when
during
that caution.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Before that caution,
But man,
I still think he had a 75% chance of winning.
he still gave it everything he had afterwards, though.
Oh, I mean,
Like, I thought
to
he
finish fourth, like
I thought he was getting passed immediately.
No, he did. Kyle did a phenomenal job. We didn't see the pass because we were looking at the bleachers, but I watching it back on HBO Max. I saw the pass. Kyle should be very, he should be excited. Like, this is race 3. He's had multiple chances to win already.
Yeah.
He's had a strong car this year. So if this is how it's going to be and it's just going to get better for Kyle,
I'm all for it.
yeah. Now it could go the other way and get worse.
I hope not.
No, I hope not. But that's the RCR trend. So
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in RCR. But I think it's going to be a big how Kyle performs this year will be a big factor of where he goes next year.
Yeah.
Because I could see him going to Spire or Trackhouse, but I could also see him staying. Maybe you get rid of Austin and put Kyle in the number 3. I would be okay with that.
Yep.
All right.
What else happened?
Connor Zilisch.
Yep.
I mean, he dominated the Xfinity race. He screwed up, pitted when the pits were closed, had to go to the back.
I think he got bored.
He might hate it, but the rest of us enjoy watching him drive from the back, and the CW shows it, so
Yeah.
you get to see it. Like, Connor Zilisch goes to the back and drives back to 14th before Suarez takes him out, and we never saw it.
No, we got to see like maybe 2 of his passes.
Yeah, like, I would have just put a camera on him instead of somebody's feet.
Right? Well, so CW, shows Connor Zilisch coming all the way back through the field. Great. Sunday you had Connor Zilisch coming back through the Cup Series field. Well, also at the end of the race, you had Chase Elliott go from 21st to 5th. Fourth. 21st to 4th in 10 laps.
I mean,
And we never saw it once.
that's what I mean. Like,
Not one time.
The coverage is hard to even. But they had an opportunity with Connor Zilisch. Like, I think the kid's 18 years old.
Dude,
He's a prodigy.
He is.
Like, he is going to take Daniel Suarez's ride next year.
I mean, there's no way he doesn't.
If Connor Zilisch wins a road course race this season,
I think he absolutely can.
Daniel Suarez might as well just
Pack
hang
his
it
bags.
up. He's done.
Yeah.
I think he's done at Trackhouse after this season regardless. I think that's a done deal. I do think Zilisch has why not? You got SVG, who has probably one of the highest % chances of winning a race on a road course. Like, he led 23 laps and finished 6th. His car sucked on new tires.
Yeah. And he was still competitive.
Yeah. So if you fix that, and he's fat, if he was fast on new tires, he won yesterday. He won that race for sure.
Oh, because he had like 8-lap fresher tires.
That's what I mean. Like, his lap, he didn't want to pit. He was like, "Let me finish on old tires."
Yeah, I know. They called him into
Just
the pits.
leave the tires on.
They called him into the pits, and he was like, "Oh, really?"
I don't want to pit because his car was. The other guys were faster on new tires than him on old tires, but they were way faster than him when he was on new tires. So,
Yeah.
But I think bringing a guy like him or Zilisch in, you almost guarantee a spot in the 16 playoff.
Yeah.
16 driver playoff.
And unfortunately, you don't guarantee nothing with Chastain and Suarez.
I think Chastain's probably a better driver than Suarez. Chastain refused to comment to the media. It's that made me, when he did that, I'm like,
dude, you've spent the past week hammering Hocevar all week.
Any chance he got.
And now that you've done something far more egregious, you're not going to say anything?
Yeah, I mean,
really, dude?
Hocevar just catches crap because he has a past of intentionally wrecking people. Maybe he's gotten over that. We don't know. Is he still aggressive? Yes. Am I here for it all day long? Like, I am if I got to pull for a driver, it's going to be Hocevar.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Chastain better when he was aggressive than I do this new
and improved Chastain.
Yeah, this high and mighty Chastain who doesn't ever do anything wrong until Sunday.
Yeah, right.
And then he goes, but then not to comment on it, like,
that's
just
crazy.
own it.
Like, that's crazy. Dude, you obviously majorly screwed up.
I mean, Zilisch got out and said, yeah, I screwed up. I made a mistake. I punted Corey Haim, basically.
Yeah.
He admitted it right away. Chastain, hey, man, did you screw up? No comment.
What are you talking about?
I choose not to speak on this matter.
I plead the fourth.
Bush. No talking.
Man.
It's annoying.
It is.
I don't like it. Like it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I just don't know how you complain about someone all week who did something far less egregious than you just did.
You Ross Chastain it. That's how you do it.
You Chastain it, man.
You just got Chastain it. If you can't crash stain it, you can't do anything.
You know, maybe he was trying to do another Hail Melon, but forgot that there wasn't a wall there.
Yeah, but it's lap 1. It's like not even the right time to do a Hail Melon, you know? That would be like doing the Hail Melon on lap 1. Like, oh, it didn't work out. Now we're done.
Yeah, right? I mean,
he's lucky. He's lucky it didn't end his race.
I was kind of frustrated it didn't.
But then you had Chase Elliott. Like you said, he finished 4th. He had a broken toe link. He replaced that, still drove all the way through the field. I think you better watch out for Chase Elliott at road course races. You got 5 more opportunities this year.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes to Mexico City and wins it.
Ooh.
Maybe he wrecks Daniel Suarez on the last lap going into the last turn at Mexico City and wins the race. Maybe that's what happened. And that's
for the Georgia boys.
I'm pulling for that now. You know, I mean, we complain about Chase not having a personality. He could earn that fandom back.
Yeah.
I'd never be one of them Chase fans that are full blown like
that's
them DBC ones, but yeah, I'm good
that's
there.
A different level.
You know, I was a diehard Dale Jr. fan, but I don't ever see me being a diehard anybody fan.
Yeah.
Not like that. Like that's one of them once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, Junior was once in a generation.
That's fact. We need another Dale Jr. to step up. So I don't think that'll happen under the current NASCAR format, but
yeah, NASCAR won't let
the
it
new
happen.
Dale Jr. is going to come out of IndyCar. It's going to be Josef Newgarden.
Yeah.
I know it's Joseph.
It's going to be, what is it? I don't remember his name now. The dude who won the IndyCar race.
What's his name? Pat O'Ward or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Or something like that.
Ain't who won.
That's not who won, no.
I don't know. I'm in NASCAR mode right now.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to Phoenix next weekend.
Got that option tire.
Got the option tire. What are you expecting?
The option tire that they're racing the whole race.
What do you think? What are you expecting with Phoenix?
Boring. Just.
You think the tire helps any? You think it'll be Richmond-esque? I mean, Richmond was a little better. Martinsville was a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a whole lot from it, to be honest.
So who are you picking to win?
Bell. I'm picking Bell to win Phoenix. I'm picking Bell to win Vegas.
You think he could really win 4 in a row?
Heck yeah.
What are you getting on this Toyota bandwagon for? You're all happy about it, too.
Could you imagine?
I'm taking Kyle Larson to win Phoenix.
No.
Why not?
When's the last time he was up front at Phoenix?
Last spring.
Okay, but if you're sitting in...
It's a spring race. Penske dominates in the fall. So spring is a Hendrick or a Gibbs car. So I picked one of the Hendrick cars.
Okay. I don't know. I think...
It's my pick, not yours.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you're right. I think...
You can have your pick of Christopher Bell.
I think Bell...
There's no way he wins it 3 in a row.
You don't think so?
I honestly don't know that because...
I mean, he
could. He very well could.
Yeah. If it wasn't...
I think he has a better shot at winning Vegas... But then again, that's another track where Kyle Larson could win at.
That's true. But I mean, if Penske didn't have their, playoff black magic, then Bell might have won the championship.
Yeah, but you can't beat the playoff black magic of the Phoenix Fall Penske race. And they might as well change it to the Penske 400.
I know, right? I mean,
why doesn't Roger? That would be so cool if Roger Penske's moving company, Penske Rentals, was the sponsor. It was the Penske Reynolds 400 at Phoenix International Raceway.
That would be hilarious.
And then they win it again.
And
then Roger's like, I own this. I own this place.
And then at Vegas, he almost won Vegas.
Who?
Bell.
I mean, he could Vegas will be an HMS or a Gibbs driver, just like Phoenix will be an HMS or a Gibbs driver. 2311 you can throw in there with both of them. That's just Gibbs' second cousin.
Speaking of 2311, they've been dominant all season. They've been pretty good.
Not bad. Bubba Wallace has stepped up and surprised me.
Yeah. Reddick's picking right where he left off.
Bubba had an issue, got a penalty.
Yep. But he still made
Yeah, but I mean,
most out of his day.
what my point on that one is more of his demeanor, his attitude. When he got that penalty, he didn't lose his crap and it was over. He got a penalty and he shook it off, kept going.
Yeah. I mean, finished first in stage 1, I think 8th in stage 2.
Yeah, and they started 1-2 on the pole.
I know, like 23-11. Let's go.
He finished 20th. That sucks. That's not a good showing for what he did all day. I think it was one of his better road course days. He just had an issue that put him in the back.
Yeah. But I like seeing 23-11 do well. I like Denny's team.
Because of the lawsuit. Yeah, we're definitely pulling for him.
Heck yeah.
I want to see him do better. I want to see 23-11 do better than I want to see Joe Gibbs win. I'd rather it be 23-11 winning all the races and Joe Gibbs not winning any.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that? 23-11. Yeah, when's their trial date? In December?
December, so
imagine
right
that.
after the banquet.
Tyler Reddick wins first NASCAR championship. All right, now let's go to court.
I mean, that's very well how it could play out. You never know. It really could be exactly like that. So, what else missed? What I got? What else we got to talk about? Anything?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to remember. I try and, like, while doing the show, think about, the timeline of the race and what all I watched, but it was also jumbled up.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I'm able to go back and watch clips, but I listened to half of Denny's podcast this week. I listened to maybe a little over half of DBC. DBC I like because I've got to the point where I only listen to the opening of DBC and then spot on, spot off. And that's all.
Yeah.
Once you get to reaction theater, I mean, it's just not my thing. I turn it off. I don't care for reaction theater anymore. I don't care for their new whatever award they give out, their new version of What an Idiot. It's not my thing, so it doesn't entertain me. So I don't even listen anymore.
Yeah.
I struggle with Jordan and Jeff. I like Jeff 90% of the time. I like Jordan 30% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't agree with. I agree less and less with their takes this year than I did last year, and I feel like every year I agree with their take less and less.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more media
focused than.
Well, they're just saying that they're all repeating the same narrative in a sense.
Right. It's not.
But Jeff will break out on his own every once in a while and go against the grain. So that's why I keep listening.
We do it for Jeff.
Yeah. And then I like Dale Jr. Download. I haven't listened to that yet. But yeah, I mean, luckily listening to those podcasts, it reminds me of things. I take notes during the race now. And I watch the highlight reel, which honestly, it's just getting so hard to watch the highlight reel.
The highlight reel was bad.
Yeah, because it's just more of Fox, and I mean,
more Fox is always a bad thing.
Yeah,
more of NASCAR coverage is just a bad thing.
It doesn't sound hopeful for the future of NASCAR.
I know, right? We're very positive here.
I mean, it is what it is. It's not what it was 20 years ago. It might never reach those numbers again. Neither is wrestling,
Right.
Baseball, I think I heard their numbers are down. The only thing not down is the NFL.
Yeah.
So, and their controversies with their play calling and stuff, it could all turn south. You never know.
Who knows?
But I don't know. I'm hopeful for the future of NASCAR, because if I'm not hopeful for the future, there is no future.
Right.
Well, I keep watching, hoping it gets better.
I don't know. I think the racing's getting better.
I do too, but the coverage is just...
It's not there.
We need to fix that. If we can fix the coverage, I think we'll be okay moving forward.
Honestly, when the coverage was bad and the racing wasn't great, it was like, okay, what am I really missing? Now that the racing is getting better and the coverage is still bad, it's like, man, I'm missing some good racing right now because of this stupid broadcast.
Yeah, and you know that.
Yeah, and that's what sucks.
And what really sucks is because the amount of people who have been using the in-car camera from Max, and it's been such a hit, Now all of a sudden they're going to raise their price, and you have to pay even more a month if you want to have that option to watch in-car with it's in-car and spotter audio. I love it.
Yeah, it's a shame we're not going to be able to use it anymore.
I mean, I'll be honest. I thought about canceling YouTube TV and just watching in-car cameras as my race coverage and listening to it on the radio.
I mean, sure.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You just flip back and forth between in-car cameras. You're listening to their spotter, and then put MRN on and listen to the broadcast on the radio.
I mean, yeah, that we might have to do that.
I might try it for a month and see how it works out.
Yeah, because
CW is free. We can watch that somewhere.
Yeah, and Fox just not. It's making it hard to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch Atlanta in detail on Fox, but what I saw of Atlanta on Fox was pretty bad. So, but we'll complain about Fox more next week. Don't worry. So, upcoming this weekend, we have Phoenix. The race is at 3:30 on Sunday. I've got Larson. I think he'll be good. I think he might win the race. John's got Christopher Bell. He thinks he'll be good. You got anything else before I close this out?
Mm-mm.
Thank you to everyone who listens, watches, and follows the show each week. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure to follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and on Spotify. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Apple podcast as well. Leave us a review like Brandon did. When you leave us a review, it helps other people find the show. And don't forget to check out our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney, for all your racing sticker needs. Other than that, y'all have a good week, and we will talk to you after Phoenix. Bye, everybody.